The John Wick universe just got a whole lot bigger, folks. It looks like none other than Keanu Reeves will be appearing in Ballerina, the Ana de Armas-led spin-off of the franchise. And John Wick isn't the only familiar face we'll be seeing. So in this video, we're discussing the latest updates on Ballerina and giving you a taste of how well de Armas has done ever since she starred in Knives Out. Starting with Keanu's return in Ballerina. It's finally official. Keanu Reeves will be starring alongside Ana de Armas in Ballerina. Collider exclusively announced that Reeves is in Prague right now and is possibly filming his role in the upcoming spin-off. Now, we've all been highly eager for more news on the next John Wick movie, but this comes as a really hype surprise. And this news came a few weeks after reports he'd left the Hulu project called The Devil in the White City. Honestly, as much as we're happy for his inclusion in Ballerina, we kinda wish he hadn't left the Hulu project. It's based on the true story of Daniel H. Burnham, a visionary who wanted to leave behind a great legacy with the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. But it also includes Dr. H.H. Holmes, better known as the guy who built the murder castle. Reeves would have played Burnham, and it would have been his first major role in American television. Just the idea of the actor in a TV show excited us, so we were disappointed to hear that he'd left the project. But we're really excited now that he's gearing up to play the legendary John Wick in Ballerina. Next, the bad news. We don't currently know how involved he is. As of this video, there's no information available on whether Keanu's going to have a cameo in Ballerina or whether he's going to be an integral part of the overarching plot. He's been pretty busy this year, what with the Netflix adaptation of Berserker, his very own comic book, and focusing on making John Wick 4 the best it can be. The man's got a full schedule on most days, so it'd make sense if he appears in a minor cameo. After all, plenty of original cast members appear in remakes or reboots of franchises in order to connect the universes together. So why not Keanu in Ballerina? Besides, his combined star power with Ana de Armas's will make the whole package that much more appealing to audiences. Now, if he appears in a more important role, then things change a little. How important will Wick's involvement be in the spin-off? If he plays the same role that Halle Berry did in Parabellum, then we think there's nothing better than that. It's a little more than a cameo, but it's also a lot more. Sophia isn't there just to help Wick. She's the one who sets him on his path to the Elder in the Moroccan desert. That way, she plays an important role in the story and proves herself an absolute badass, but the focus remains on John Wick's character development. We think that's a pretty good way to go, but what about you? Now for the good news. Ian McShane's also joining Ballerina. We're not sure if Ian's going to be in the Continental unless there are flash forwards, but we can confirm that the manager of the Continental is returning along with Keanu. The obvious question is, will this take away from de Armas's character? After all, she's going to be sharing the screen with two of the franchise's veterans, right? But in our opinion, her character will stand on her own as a fully realized badass. The complete plot is under wraps at the moment, but we do know that the titular Ballerina will be out for revenge against those who killed her family. It's a simple enough plot, but it's how she gets revenge that'll set the stakes. Another important detail we don't know yet is whether Ballerina will take place before, during, or after the events of John Wick 4. If it's before, then it might be set in a time before the first John Wick movie, when Wick was at the height of his career. But if it's after Chapter 4, then it could be related directly to the events of the fourth movie. We just don't know yet. Like you, we're crazy about the series and have our own theories about the spin-off, but Ian's inclusion in the movie is a warm welcome for longtime fans. What's more, McShane's gonna have a pivotal role. We're going to have to take this one with a grain of salt, guys. Basil Iwaniak, the producer of Ballerina, recently revealed that Ian's role would be pivotal to the whole story. Again, what does pivotal really mean? Would he still be the manager of the Continental and show de Armas's character the way forward? Or will he be more important to the overall story, going until the end of the movie? Iwaniak's lips are sealed as of now, so we're not going to get any answers out of him. But he's really excited to have such a legend in the upcoming spin-off. New fans of the actor might know him from John Wick or American Gods, but we were introduced to the man in Deadwood, where he played Al Swearingen. If you haven't watched the series yet, then we can't recommend Deadwood enough for your next weekend binge. Anyway, we're pretty excited to see what happens in the upcoming months as more and more details of the spin-off are revealed. We're gonna get you guys updated on the latest, but for now, we're just excited Ana de Armas is starring next to Keanu and Ian in Ballerina. Speaking of de de Armas, she had a pretty rich year, and we mean that literally, folks. She's had a massively successful year, with 2 Netflix movies under her belt, The Gray Man, in which she starred alongside Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans, and of course, the highly controversial Blonde, in which her performance received major critical acclaim. Between us, de Armas was the only good thing about Blonde, but don't let us keep you from watching it. Give it a look and tell us how it was. Anyway, we were really curious about how much bank a brilliant actress like her would be making in 2022, so we put on our Dear Stalker hats and started being detectives on the internet. So without further ado, let's start off with No Time to Die. Now, we couldn't find much about her paycheck from the James Bond movie, but we did find an excerpt from Showbiz Galore that she made about $70,000 for her role. For us middle-class folks, that's a year's worth of groceries and bills, but for a celebrity, that's just another gold watch. But get this, for his role as Bond in No Time to Die, Daniel Craig made a whopping $25 million. Sure, he was the one leading the franchise at that point, but de Armas's character wasn't messing around either. She was a lovable badass and did some outrageous stunt work, but hey, we would have accepted $700 if we meant we were starring in a James Bond flick. Up next, de Armas makes bank from her top-tier endorsements. The best thing an actor can do with celebrity status is to cash in on all the brand partnerships and product endorsements. Not only does Ana make a lot of serious money by being Estee Lauder's global brand ambassador, but she's also partnered with La Mer, an international brand selling luxury skincare and makeup products. We couldn't find the exact number of dollars she makes, but let's assume there are a lot of zeros on her paycheck. And then, of course, how could we forget the movie she made with her ex, Ben Affleck? Yeah, remember when the two were dating? The ex-couple made a movie called Deep Water, in which an unhappily married couple, Vic and Melinda, start dating other people whilst still being together. It was a weird movie, but we commend de Armas for braving through it. It's never easy working with an ex, we should know. Anyway, while Affleck reportedly made $7 million from the movie, de Armas made only $700,000. The pay gap seems a little suspicious, doesn't it? Finally, she probably got a hefty payday from Blonde. She was beyond committed to the role of Marilyn Monroe, and it genuinely felt that she put a lot of hard work in nailing her personality and character traits. De Armas even got help from an accent coach to sound convincing enough. Now, we're not sure about the numbers on this one, since there's no definitive answer about her salary from the biopic. But since she was the lead, and her performance would decide whether the movie worked, we're assuming she got a huge paycheck after filming wrapped. And after all our assumptions, what does her total net worth come out to? Oh, nothing special, just $6 million, which is $6 million more than we have in our bank accounts. But we're sure that her net worth's gonna skyrocket once Ballerina comes out, cause that's going to be as high profile as The Gray Man, and we can't wait. And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for watching. So how do you feel about Keanu and McShane joining the cast of Ballerina? And on a side note, if you had $6 million to your name, what would you spend it on first? Tell us down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more John Wick content in the future. See you in the next one.